What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Tellor today, TRB, at the request of Mr. Party Boy. We're doing this for you, my friend. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? Here we are at about $34.50 right now. Tellor, if we're looking at it on a weekly time frame, it looks like it's going to go down a little bit more, right? You found resistance here right at the prior areas of support, prior areas of resistance. Where did you go when you found resistance here last time? You went all the way down here, down to about $14. Now, are you going to go to $14 now? I don't think so. I don't. That's not my expectation. I mean, going from 34 to 40 bucks, it could happen, but I'm not anticipating that personally. I would think somewhere just above here, which to me, what would make sense is prior areas of support and prior areas of resistance here. So maybe something right there. That's at about 1870. From 34 bucks to 1870, that still seems a bit extreme, but it does look like you've shown your hand. It looks like you've broken out of this. So let's just call a spade here, man. It looks like you want to go down. Let's see if we can make sense out of this area, or if there's something even just above it. Let's use the fibs here from a low to a high. Nope, that was not the low, but that is the high. Low to high. Okay, yeah, so you're at your golden ratio right now. Back tested prior areas of support for resistance. You're still in your golden ratio. Basically rejected your golden ratio and came back into it. Next likely target would be 18 bucks, $18.40, $19, something around there. Yeah, that would be your next likely target. The weekly RSI looks like it's pointed to the downside. You have found support here a couple times, sure, but now you're lower than those points. You're rejecting the 60. It seems more bearish than bullish overall. I bet you want to go to the oversold zone. Daily RSI rejecting the 50. You've got higher highs here while promoting lower highs in the price. That's hidden bearish divergence from this high to that high, higher highs, and then from this high to that high, lower highs, right? Yeah, it looks very obvious to me like you are going to go down. I will say this again. If instead you pull a double bottom, I think that would be okay. Maybe there's a way to absolve going to $18.70 if you find support down here. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go below this low. You could wick below it, maybe go to 24 bucks, and then you come back up and you close here. As long as you get some kind of form of a lower low in the RSI while maintaining this kind of look, maybe you come down, you bounce here. If you get a higher low in the RSI that bounces off the oversold zone like that, and you have a lower low here on a closing basis, not on a wicking basis, but on the body, the candle body close, you'd have some bullish divergence, and that would be good enough, I think, to save you from going down to 1870 if it can be confirmed. And what this confirmation constitutes, you know, closing down here and then getting like 2 green days in a row, or at least one. And if you can do that, if you can close, really just calls for closing below that daily low close there. If you can close below there and then turn the beat around and get back above here, I think that will be your low. I think this could be your low. So it is possible, however unlikely, at least based on the way of the fibs. I would think that you do go to 1870. That's my expectation. But the unlikely outcome to me, which is still very possible, would be that you find support somewhere around anywhere from, I would say, at least 30 bucks to maybe at most 24 bucks, something in this range. It's very, very possible it could happen. Okay. Why are you being so slow, RSI? There we go. I mean, everything looks like it wants to go down at the very least. So I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of expecting a crypto-wide crash to come our way. I'm not entirely positive if it's going to affect everything or how dramatic it's going to be, but I'm under the impression right now we might see a 20 to 30% correction overall throughout the markets. So what would that be for you here? You know, 30% would take you down to about 24 bucks. 20% would take you to about a double bottom. Okay, that double bottom to me is actually looking a little bit more likely, because going to 18 bucks, that's 46%, 47%. That would mean that you're going to drop more than the average coin if this drop happens. Let's see if we can figure that out. Are you going to drop more than the average coin? Others. Tellor. Weekly time frame. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to drop more. You look like you're at a point where you're going to find support actually and start moving up versus other coins in the market. That's what this chart is, right? If you're moving up in this chart, that means you're gaining value versus other coins in the market. If you're moving down, other coins are gaining value in comparison to you. They're outpacing you. So I think you're at a low point here, man. I mean, quite literally, you are at a low point. But let's look at it one more way, because sometimes, I don't know how this makes sense, but sometimes because it's out of log, it can throw me off. But this way might help also. Let's just see. it's the opposite now. So if it goes down, that's a good thing. If it goes up, that's a bad thing. But the reason why it helps is because we have the RSI and stuff. Yeah, you're overbought as hell, bro. To me, would you think this is a good selling point? Yeah, it'd be a good selling point. And if this goes down, that means Tellor will outperform the average crypto in the markets. I'm not saying it's going to go down like this overnight, but I mean, maybe Tellor might be due for a pump here soon, you guys. A real big pump. That's what this chart's telling me. Either that or the market's due for a dump, and Tellor just won't move at all. But TRB, right? It's TRB. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to change my prediction. I don't think you go below 20 bucks. I don't think you go to $18 to $19. So keep that in your back pocket, right? It's possible. It's possible. To me, it seems a lot less likely now. I like the idea. It makes much more sense. I'm glad that I thought about that. 20 to 30% drop. You're going to drop less than the average crypto, probably. That's what that last chart just told us. So I don't know, something. And truthfully, I expect the average crypto to drop about 25% or more. So something, you are not likely to go below this low. I changed my mind. I don't think you're likely to go below this low at all. I think 2650 holds. Even if you go below the low, it's okay. It's fine, you know. And even if you go all the way to 18 to 19, 17 bucks, whatever, it's fine as well. That would be the unexpected outcome, though. By the way of the fibs, by the way of everything else, it made sense up until we just did that last little bit there. And now that was significant enough for me to genuinely say, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you do have the setup here for some bullish divergence. I think that will save you, and I really do think that you will see a double bottom. That's kind of my expectation right now. But lower, nonetheless, $34.20 now. Why is the RSI being so slow? I might have to refresh everything. Just like close down the tab and refresh it all. I don't know. Looks like you are going to go lower though. Yeah, the 1 hour looks like you want to go lower as well, rejecting the 40, getting into the oversold zone, breaking below these lows. Yeah, you're definitely going to see something that takes you down to about 30 bucks, okay? At least 30 bucks, if not as low as 26 bucks. Somewhere in between though is likely where you're going to go. I got nothing else for you. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We can actually talk about where I think it's going to go after this, if that helps. And looking at the price, by the way, lower lows here, lower highs here. It's kind of like you're in this giant bull flag, almost kind of like that. But you had a very explosive move up and then a consistent move to the downside. If we're expecting this thing to see new all-time highs, and I think that we are. New all-time highs. Come on now. After the lows, right? Of course, it's going to go lower first and then go higher. Why did you do that? I didn't mean to. Come on, high here to the low. There we go. Around the 0.5 area. Okay, so whenever you go higher, whenever you do go higher, your next target, that's crazy, man. You were already up all the way up at $618 and now you're all the way back at 34. That's crazy, man. People were FOMOing the top up there, man. Whenever you go higher, and I think that you will go higher, you'll see a $1,300 price, something around there, if not more. You're at $34 now. What that implies, what that implicates is we're going to go down. You're going to see a price around 30 bucks or lower. So here's $29.50. If you go up at all, I'm assuming that you will go above this high, unless you form some kind of double top. Maybe you only see an 18x only. That's still pretty good. To a 1618, that's my expectation, would be a 43x. Now, could you go beyond that? Absolutely, you could. Tellor's at a $91 million market cap. 91 million means you could see a 100x from here, you guys. You could absolutely see a 100x from here. 100x puts you all the way up here at the 886, the next fib target, $3,000 to $4,000. I think anything from $1,300 to $4,400, let's say $4,500, it just rolls off the tongue better. $1,300 to $4,500 could be expected by the end of the cycle. Anything less, I don't think so. I think that you will climb higher, unless there's some kind of negative catalyst that I'm unaware of. But to me, it doesn't seem like that, right? Like if we saw this kind of movement, but to the downside, then I'd be more scared. But this looks pretty tight and like it has a purpose, and that purpose is to consolidate to send you higher. That's my assumption, at least. And yeah, I really do believe you'll end up at 13 to 4,500, if not higher. Yeah, sure, you could go higher. Absolutely, you could. Yeah, that would be a 360x right there. 360x from a market cap of about $100 million. Yeah, you can do that. 100x would be $10 billion, right? Just under. It'd be actually $9.17 billion. And then a 300x would be 27, about $30 billion, right? 300x from here, you do a little bit more than that. I mean, these are high market caps, don't get me wrong. To come from low market caps below 100 million, it definitely is, but attainable, nonetheless, very attainable market caps. We see these market caps happen every cycle, by more than just one coin, right? So seeing something that's above a $30 billion market cap, below a $40 billion, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. That's a good standard, I think. You could absolutely see. The reality is, the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm like, you could go higher. You could go higher than $11,000. So I think 10,000 is a nice psychological level of resistance. That probably would be your maximum if you got there. I'm expecting more so. I'm not saying that you go there. I'm just saying you have a decent chance. More so, my minimum expectation would be 1300. That's a 43x. That's awesome. The average expectation for the average altcoin is something like a 22 to a 23x. So your minimum target's double that. Great. Good job. Nice. Unless you double top, and in which case then you're about average with the average altcoin, and still whatever. Boohoo. It's still gains, still gains. But I think I really do like this $300 to $4,500 area. I like this 100 to 150x from here at $34. So I think that's what you'll do by the end of the cycle. A little bit lower now. That's just an opportunity to buy. It's nothing to get fearful over. If you heard $18 at the beginning and you were thinking, man, that's a great opportunity to buy, you're 100% right. So don't be surprised and don't be caught with your pants around your ankles here. Don't be caught off guard. Okay. If we do something more than a double bottom, if we do go down here to this area, it is not something to be afraid of. It's something to envy as a buying opportunity. If you put all your money in up here and you're down here thinking, damn it, why did I buy? I should sell. This thing's a piece of crap. You're doing it wrong. You're buying high and selling low. At least do it somewhat right. If you bought high, at least don't sell low. Wait for it to come back up and then sell high. If you're going to buy high, sell high. Don't buy high, sell low. You're doing it backwards, right? And in fact, you're supposed to buy low, sell high. This would be the obvious choice, to buy low, and then you could go higher. Let alone where we're at now. This is even a good buying opportunity compared to where you were, I suppose, right? How much have you dropped overall? Is that a 90? That's got to be a 90% drop, man. That's a wicked drop. It's the kind of stuff you only see in crypto, man. 95% is wicked, man. And the possibility you could go lower, that's wicked. That's anything below 90%, in my opinion. If we're looking at it right, there's 90%. It's at 57 bucks. As long as you're below 57 bucks, you got the green light to buy, man. It's going to do well. Why is that? It's because whenever you're at a 90% or lower, anytime you go up from there to the all-time highs, that right there automatically gives you a 10x. And already, so to get to your all-time highs, you're already quote unquote guaranteed something that's greater than a 10x. Probably at this case, almost like a 20x, which is just nuts. That's just nuts. So risk to reward is definitely there. It's definitely there, but you probably do drop a little bit more. I'm rambling at this point. I got nothing else to say. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Take it easy. Bye-bye.